Welcome back, team.
Another week, another episode.
So exciting.
So happy to have you here.
This week we've got a very exciting topic that we want to chat to you about.
Very exciting.
Which is why no one actually knows what they're doing and how that helps you, and how that helps us, and why that's actually amazing.
It's all just an illusion.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. We try and look like we know what we're doing.
Absolutely.
Everyone tries to look like they know what they're doing. But actually, we're all just faking it till we make it.
Winging it.
Winging it and taking it one step at a time. I think that's why it looks so scary to try something new, because everyone is always like, no, but they've got to figure it out. I don't have it figured out yet. But the only reason they've got to figure it out is because they tried and failed and tried and failed until they got to a point where their systems were working and their marketing was working. But it's only because they tried. And actually we're all just trying our best here.
I really have to stop myself often when I look at other brands that are similar to mine, or even just people who have morning routines and day in the lives and all that stuff, and just realize and stop myself and be like, it might look glamorous, but it's probably was very messy. It's probably not all figured out. And with a brand specifically, I'm almost like, why are they here and I'm still down here or whatever? And then I need to realize they've probably been doing this for 7 years and I'm here having it done for one. You're not going to have it all figured out. It's a very messy process. But I think it's very natural, especially with social media.
Definitely. The perception we have is that those people have it figured out, but they actually don't, and they look like they do, and it's amazing. And well done to them. But it's all just fake at the end of the day. We're all just trying to try new things, figure this out, trying to get into this market, trying to look like you're on top of the world in this space. We're all trying to look like we have it figured out, because that's what sells at the end of the day, and that's what people look up to, and that's what people admire. But actually everyone is just doing life for the first time. Even people that are 3 times our age, they're also just doing life for the first time.
I agree.
And so we're all just trying our best and figuring it out as we go.
So let's chat about it. Chat about some things we've learned about this topic specifically. And then maybe it can help you. Just relax, take a breath, and realize it's not so serious.
100%.
It's actually one of my pet peeves when people are jealous of my life or jealous of me, because I'm it's not perfect. If you were here for a second or a day, you'd probably be like, oh, okay. Maybe not, because there's no rule book to life. There's literally no guideline. Obviously, we have principles and values that we use as guidelines, but ultimately there's not in business you should do this, when this hits you should do this. It's just figuring it out. It's circumstantial. It depends on a lot of things in your life.
And I mean, it could be with anything. It's navigating relationships, navigating career, how to be an adult. If someone could give me a rule book for that, I'd love that. Thank you so much.
Please.
But there is no rule book, and we're all just trying to figure it out. And I think even the people you look up to, even the people that you see on social media or celebrities or business owners, everyone is just trying to figure it out.
I agree.
And everyone has to start somewhere. And I think the fact that no one actually knows what they're doing is so comforting. I think you should see it as an opportunity more than anything else, because you feel like you don't know enough, and no, you can't try, and no, wait, let me actually just wait a little bit more before I jump in, because I need to learn this skill or I need to figure out how to do this. You don't need to understand everything before you start, or before you launch something, or before you try something new. Just jump in and run with it and learn as you go and challenge yourself.
And you're going to make mistakes. That's just the reality of it. You're going to make lots of mistakes because there's no guideline, and because you're doing the best you can. But that's okay.
And if you think about it, think of any okay, let's all think of someone who you look up to or whose life you think you want or whatever
looks
it may
perfect.
be. Yeah. Those people are also just adjusting and trying this and trying that. And okay, this strategy didn't work. Let me try this one. We're all just trying to figure it out.
Yes.
Everyone who is successful, everyone is not successful, everyone and everything. Like we're all just
Figuring it out.
trying to be the best version of ourselves, trying to create something cool and like also we're all just trying to look like we have it figured out. Like I said, like we're all just trying to look like, if you look at social media, it's just one big like ego competition.
100%. You're obviously just going to put the beautiful and the nice things out there. And I think there's so many influencers for like I would really respect who put like the messy and the, you know, like the really raw stuff out there. Because let's be real, not everyone's life is perfect. And sometimes it's hard looking at people whose life seem perfect because you just compare yourself to them and you're like, why is my life wildly different? Why can't I keep up with it? And you don't have to. That's literally the simple truth.
We're all just creating our own journeys and you decide what that looks like, which is so exciting. I just want to get it in like everyone's head that it is so exciting to be able to decide exactly what you want and build that and like chase the goals that you want to achieve, not what everyone else is telling you to achieve.
I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned over this past few years was that you can't wait for a perfect moment because that perfect moment never does exist. And waiting until your circumstances are perfect, or, you know, when I am this age, I'll do this. When my world looks like this, I'll do this. If the product is, you know, to this extent perfect or like, you know, whatever, I will launch it or I'll actually do it. Like there will never be that perfect moment. And every time I think, you know, okay, we're almost at the perfect moment, it's as if like your goalpost just moves further and further and further away because you learn more and you grow more and you realize. And even in my brand, I've realized so many times over and over and over again, when I launch things that aren't perfect to my standards, like there's a lot of stuff where I'm like, I would still work 3 months on this if I could. They still do just as well, sometimes even better than I expected, just because the time was right or the market was right, or no one actually knew what the difference would be between now and perfection in my head.
Yeah, because it's your perception of and your standard of perfect, where this is also a really good product, but the way you would have changed it, no one knows that.
Exactly.
No one.
No one cares.
Exactly.
No, it's true. And I think even in life, like if you are waiting for a perfect, you know, for all the stars to align, for you to start gymming, for you to go run a race, whatever it may be, okay, to get married, whatever, like buy a house, make the investment, take the job, you're gonna wait a very long time.
Yeah, it's so true.
And you might just miss out on the opportunity, and that's a sad reality of it.
And I think we tend to just wait. No, but we'll do it next year. Oh no, we'll do that vacation or that holiday, we'll do that next year when things like quiet down, or I'm not going to go see my family this next weekend because this and this, but then like I'll do it the weekend after, or I'll do there's always something that's going to pop up. And I think we need to stop waiting. Let's start there, because life's way too short. Because like you said, there's never going to be a perfect moment to do something. You might as well just jump in and go for it and learn from that experience. And I think like going into the next point, firstly, have grace with yourself, but secondly, have confidence in yourself that even if you can't do it and you don't know how, be open to trying and learning like in that experience, or even like go work for someone who does that thing, to learn and to grow and to get to know the industry. And then in like a year or 2 years, then you leave that company and say, you know what, now I feel it's time. But we tend to like stay so stuck and we get so comfortable. So I'm not saying just go for it and try anything and just like fair enough, try to set yourself up for success, but stop waiting. Like set yourself up for success now.
Why wait? Yeah,
exactly.
No, I get you.
Because I think we always say like you said, like when I have kids one day, or when I retire one day, or when I have a nicer car, or whatever it may be. We miss so many opportunities in our careers, in our personal lives to just like be happy, to create something, and just like live a little.
Live a little.
Live a little.
100%. I agree with you.
There's so much freedom in admitting that you don't know, but that you're willing to learn. And I think in our generation, it's almost a tough one because a lot of like the older generations see us as like, I don't want to say the lazy generation, but a generation that is obviously very like tapped into our emotions. We know what we want and we're not really willing to compromise on it. And
want quick satisfaction.
Exactly.
Stuff like that, yeah.
And I've seen that like in the workspace when I used to be in corporate, is like people being like, okay, but you know your generation is different, right? And like I can't be investing in your generation if you're not willing to give back. But I do believe our generation is we're builders.
Yes.
We want to create something, we want to add value, and we want to like build something that means something. We don't really want to be a number. And I'm sure, I'm not saying all of us, sometimes it really is easier to just be a number and just like work for a company and do your thing and have that stability, and that's fine. And if that's what you chase, then
go for it.
Cool. I'm happy for you. If that brings you joy, then that's perfect. But we are the builders and we want to create something that means something. So we might as well just try. I think it's a myth that like expertise equals success, and that keeps people stuck at the end of the day. Is we need to just go with it, man,
and be willing to learn and to admit that we don't know and ask the hard questions. Try the thing, fail, try again, like take messy action, because maybe it works out, maybe the way you want to do it, or you know, the new idea you have works out. Fantastic. Like that's, if you can just think back to people who invented all types of stuff, like a light, a camera. I was watching a movie about how BlackBerry was made. Watch that movie. It's very interesting because they had this idea for a phone that no one understood.
Yeah.
Like literally no one understood. They were like, it's not a pager, it's not a computer, so what the hell are you making?
Yeah.
But they had such a strong vision and they asked questions. They made a bunch of mistakes. They invested wrong. They used their money wrong. But at the end of the day, it became this multi-million-dollar company, which is crazy to think.
And that's the whole thing. Just because you think you don't have the expertise does not mean you don't have something valuable.
Yes.
It's, for example, like I saw the Uber pitch deck, like just before when they were still looking for investors. I saw the pitch deck the other day. It's actually shocking because fair enough, before Uber existed, everyone was kind of like, or when you would hear the concept of Uber, kind of be like, surely not.
Yeah.
Why would I get in a stranger's car?
Exactly.
And everything sounds bizarre until it works.
Yeah.
So you might as well just try. And I think the beauty of it is even though like before you tap into a new industry or you tap into a new market, you are never going to understand everything that already exists.
Yes.
And you're never going to have all the expertise to start like running with that business before you actually start a business.
I agree, yeah.
Like you have to learn with like through that experience.
I think there's so much creativity in not understanding the whole industry or like something you are going headfirst into, because when you don't know the whole industry, you don't have limits. You're not limited by anything. And so you might just create something that no one has thought about because you just could step in with fresh perspective and new ideas. If you can reframe the uncertainty and the messy part of it into just creativity, just think about it as having a blank canvas in front of you. You are going to come up with innovative ideas. You're going to come up with a lot of problem solving because you might run into problems that others don't run into anymore or have worked past. Yeah, I think it's so beautiful.
And I think with that being said, you're not stuck in like the old way of doing things. You are creating a whole new system or a whole new business. It's like BlackBerry or Uber is, you're creating something that hasn't existed.
Yeah.
Like it's something new. Where that comes making your own rules, setting your own boundaries, growing the business the way that you want to build it. And then not just in a business sense, I think it could be in any sense. The fact that our generation has shifted so many things because we think about things so differently just shows you that we can technically just build anything we want. And I feel like Gen Z has kind of said, okay, can everyone just let's take a step back. none of this makes sense. And so let's like reshuffle this and come up with new ideas because this doesn't make sense. And I don't know if I'm making any sense.
No, that makes 100% sense. And I think so. Just let's round it off. It's okay to not have your life figured out, to go into situations not knowing everything. It's okay because no one has it figured out. Even if it looks like they do, they don't. So you don't have to compare yourself to an unrealistic expectation.
Yeah.
There's so much beauty, there's so much freedom in just taking things as you go, faking it till you make it, figuring it out, asking the hard questions, taking the messy action, and just know that everyone before you and everyone to come is going to do exactly the same because there's no rule book to life. But some of the best inventions, some of the best ideas, some of the most beautiful things that can happen in your life come from those very messy decisions.
Yeah. And I think there's such a almost like a negative connotation to just trying without any experience. But like, why? Why are we like, it's not that serious. Like, why is everyone trying so hard to just fit into the box that some old white guy created 500 years ago? I just don't understand. You know what I'm saying? Is we all have our own journeys. We all are our own people with our own perspectives and our own like goals. So we might as well just like shake it up a bit because it's not that serious at the end of the day. And if you're just confident in yourself and your goal and your business,
You're gonna be fine.
no one who can stop you, type of thing. Just a reminder, you're not failing, you're becoming. Just try. What's the worst that could happen? So exciting.
And it's your life. Do with it what you want. It does not have to look a certain way. It doesn't have to get approval from anyone. As long as it aligns with your values, it can look just as you want it to.
I just want to like get to that point where I can like shake every human. Like I just want to shake every human and be like, why are you trying to fit in a box? I don't understand.
Why do we have boxes still? That's actually a good question.
Yeah, I think it's human. But
probably find that entity in it.
Yeah. And
so
then
now you have a question for us.
I do. Just give me a second to think about it. Okay, so what in your life do you feel like you're just holding back because you're scared? And you're holding back because you feel like you don't know everything?
Oh.
I think something to keep in mind is common sense is not as common as we think. When I was younger, I used to never give my opinion on anything because I was always just like, no, these people have more experience, so why would I? Like, I can't add value. And in the past few years, I've kind of just learned that, like, they're not necessarily thinking of the solution that you're thinking of. So you might as well just try and add value.
Yeah.
And if you don't, that's cool too. At least you tried.
Yeah, I agree.
Where in your life do you feel like you're holding back because you're scared, because you're trying to fit in a box, because you think you don't know everything yet? And how are you going to change that? Let me know. Let us know. I would love to know. How are you going to change what? And now for our favorite parts.
Our favorite part of every episode this season, Small Business of the Week. We've been loving that you love this part. And I think it gives a lot of exposure to other brands as well, especially South African small businesses. And we still have a whole season ahead of us. So if you have a brand we have not mentioned, please let us know. And we can reach out.
If you want us to feature your brand, please reach out. Let's all grow together.
Fantastic.
So our small business of the week this week is Plan with Your Listener.
Beautiful.
Plan with Your Listener started a few years back while she was still in university. It was like a little side hustle where she started with recipe books and yearly planners, and then later went into diaries. And now in the past few years she's gone into like the wedding space and wedding planners and digital wedding stationery and wedding websites.
Wedding websites. She really does amazing and beautiful work. I actually ordered one of her planners in the past. It was so nice. You can customize the cover, you can customize the pages inside. Like, it was just such a nice experience. I really liked the planner. And
I think that's so special because like a daily planner diary is such a personal thing. And I know like I very much have a very specific type of diary that I go for every year.
Yes.
But it's something that you carry with you like a whole year. So you might as well just make it special. And it's always so cute how like you can personalize her planners
Yes,
and
I
like
agree.
make it your own, which I think is very sweet. So yes, we would highly recommend.
Definitely go support her. Amazing brand.
Yes, and we will tag her on our socials so we can show you some of her beautiful stuff.
You guys have the best week. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Love you, bye.